Hello everyone, my name is Brian, though probably better known to most who click this video by my nom de internet, Enrique, and this is my first video recounting my current Football Manager 22 save. For those of you who don't know, I'm an avid Football Manager fan, and one of my big saves in my first version of the game, FM12, was elevating Salisbury City FC from the 6th tier in England up to a Premier League title. In FM19, I went a few steps further, taking Salisbury FC from the 7th tier up to a side that won 7 titles in 1 year. And so, in Football Manager 22, we return to Salisbury, still starting this campaign in the 7th tier of English football in the Southern League Premier South. This tier of soccer isn't naturally in the base game, so as soon as the game went live, I grabbed the first English database extension I could find and applied it, and off I went. The rules for this lower tier seem reasonably accurate, but the Salisbury roster was all over the place, as the salary information is much less precise at this level, and there would be extraordinary amounts of roster activity. Nevertheless, that doesn't excuse being handed a roster that started with one fullback and no true center backs. This left us scrambling to fill some holes while operating within the budget constraints of a 7th tier side who have nearly half their salary tied up in 2 players in this extension. To create more cap space, we did move away from 6 players who I didn't project to be important players for the team. Sorry if they're personal favorites for any Salisbury fans who find this video. And to fill those gaps on the back line, we trialed a large number of players who aren't listed here because we couldn't afford any sort of scouting package. We signed a few and then had a number of players we loaned in as well. Some of the loanees in particular have stuck. Some have been outclassed by later acquisitions and had their loans terminated, and others have been recalled by the team that I had loaned them from, primarily because I didn't use them in the exact position or role that they had envisioned for them. Which leaves me a roster that in early January looks something like this. Jamie Bradley Green was probably my best signing and has anchored a stalwart back line. Real-life Salisbury youth player Devin Arnold leads the attack with 16 goals, along with Sam Ashton. One big issue that parallels real life is that on the right wing, Tom Blair's loan is due to end in mid to late January, and Eastleigh are unwilling to extend it because they believe he should be playing against better competition. And in real life, Tom Blair's loan to Salisbury was recently terminated so he could sign with a team in the 5th tier of the English pyramid. There's no replacing a player like Blair at this level, but I've got another loanee to fill the roster spot, and hopefully we've built ourselves enough of a buffer to do just that. We've built a defensive juggernaut of sorts, playing what's essentially a 4-4-2 with one of the center midfielders recessed back to defensive midfielder spot, and dictating the action be played down the wings. 2 of the most important precepts that I play with in lower league management are here. 1, play with 2 strikers, because at this level, a single striker is never creative or productive enough to provide enough goal scoring. And 2, play with a defensive midfielder to limit the opposition's ability to score screamers from the top of the box. This has served us particularly well, as you can see from all of the green on the schedule, that we've had a very productive first half of the year, winning 17 and losing 3, putting us 6 points clear of Hayes and Yeading in 2nd, and 13 points of Weston in 3rd. There is no guaranteed promotion spot, as the top 3 teams all earn a spot in the promotion playoffs, but the top seed does earn a potentially important bye, as 12 teams compete for 2 promotion spots. Our cup performances thus far have been basically as one would expect. Losing in the FA Cup qualifying when we drew a 5th tier side, losing an extra time in the FA Trophy to a 6th tier side, losing the first round of the FA Youth Cup because we don't actually have a playable youth side, and if when we become a pro team, I can only hope we're allowed to start one. But we're still alive in the Southern League Cup in the quarterfinals. As of now, I've run out of script, which means it's time to move the game forward for live action, as we will be taking on 2nd place Hayes and Yeading in a home duel for some very important points in the race for both the promotion spots and the bye in the promotion playoffs. This takes to tactical meeting. I'm going to disregard Callum Hart's recommendation that we shoot on sight. I will say don't tackle harder, and I prefer to have a higher line of engagement for my team. Moving on to team selection, we will run out this crew. I anticipate playing Blair all game because I don't think he has any more games for us after this one. So stamina, we're just going to run him into the ground. it's his going away game. As you can see, everything's pretty green, other than Dan Fitchett doesn't like an instruction that doesn't mesh well with his own personal instructions. They've learned to play in this format pretty well. We will press whichever player Callum Hart tells us to press, and hit a instruction, tell them to keep doing what they're doing. Joe Rabbits on fullback is often nervous, doesn't seem to have a great personality, but what can you do? Time for the kickoff. Looks like Hazen Yeating will start off with the ball. I generally keep the speed about here. It's a little faster than normal, but not much. We take position, and it cuts it back to here. So we're going to just keep looking at the stats on the far right, where we're attacking. We are coming down the sides just as they are. They're playing a 4-3-3, and then have picked up a yellow card. Usually, in older versions of the game at this point, I'm going to pause. We have an injury. It's a slight knock. It does sound like he wanted to come off, which we'll go ahead and do here in the 25th minute. We won't need to sub off our replacement. So we'll bring on Solomon Wanjao Smith, who was a player we brought in essentially to eventually replace Tom Blair after this game. He will play on the left, and we'll move Benham over to the right. We'll confirm the sub, though it won't get in for this play. As I was saying, usually at this point in the game, in older versions, I would put in a shout, usually get creative, which apparently resonated with the players. So far, I have not found shouts to be terribly useful. They respond poorly to very many of them, and they took away get creative entirely, because that one just always worked. Blair, outside the box, tries to pass it into Odebaid. No luck. Center it out. Knowles handles it. Up to Blair. Plays it out to O'Sullivan. Looking to create space. He's not going to find any. Into Blair. Same thing. Does find space to Arnold. Fires and blocked by the defenders. Out to Blair. Repeat the process, and we'll take the corner. We will generally be looking for Egan and Jamie Bradley Green here on the short post. They have numbers there. Knock it out. But Knowles is going to be the first one to it, slowly, and reset the possession. Blair is going to push to the outside, looking to create space to cross it. Arnold with the header, easily saved, unfortunately. Let's try and encourage the boys. We'll see how that goes. Rabbits is still not feeling very well about things. Knowles and Wanjao Smith are moderate. Everyone else is happy. Long ball over the top. That is how most of our goals are scored. Egan is not particularly fleet of foot, so if he is supposed to be marking someone, you can play it over his head, and a fast striker will beat him to the spot. In theory, I should potentially separate the center backs' duties. They are both currently set on defend. Perhaps I should be setting Egan on stopper and Bradley Green on cover. So Egan, who isn't fast, but will just try and race up to cut anyone off, and the faster Bradley Green will drop back with his speed to sweep up anything that gets through. But things have worked out pretty well so far, so I'm not going to mess with it for now. Beauchamp has provided a lot of security at the back, which I've liked. That's through. Arnold looks for that gap here on the short post, but we will get a corner. Again, I anticipate looking at the short post for our two center backs, in particular Bradley Green. Good header, but not good enough. Head into the 40th minute. XG nearly level, so we are creating roughly equal chances. They've just managed to get their one through, while ours have not. Yep, as it says, Egan's been dominant in air. As you can see, the XG chart is showing exactly what I said, relative performance. They just got lucky on theirs. Let's head into the dressing room. Yeah, I think we'll go at him a bit. Tell him to show a bit of desire. That didn't seem to help a whole lot. Let's kind of plead with the defenders. Have the ability to make a real difference. Get out there and do it. Rabbits and Knowles are still no good, but it seemed to help those guys. Let's start the second half. We get to start off with possession. Send it back to Egan, who has picked up a yellow card. Bradley Green will bring it forward. Almost dribble it right into the back of Knowles. Plays it out to Odebaid, one of our two strikers. Back to Bradley Green. Odebaid and Wakefield. Packs back and forth. Blair, just a bad pass there, completely squandering possession. Cut out. Starting to look at stamina. Blair is wearing down, but again, we aren't taking him out. Play it out, and looks like they'll just play it. Nope. Odebaid's going to get there before it goes out of bounds. Rabbits plays it forward. Arnold, header, goal. Nice. Devin Arnold, obviously, our disallowed, and properly so. It's not even close. We do have a problem staying on sides. We will demand more from the team. See if that helps. Into Arnold. That one's got to count, right? Right? Nope, they took it away again. Just, this is torturous. Yep, no, he was offsides. Just before he backpedals and, come on, dude, stay on sides. So here in the next 4 minutes of game time, we will be looking to use our two subs, as I generally shoot for about the 70th minute. 20 minutes means that the players will get ratings and it'll be considered to be enough time on the pitch to potentially improve their skills, but is a short enough time that you're not risking injury as much. The odds of an injury are considerably less. Do we have another? No, I don't really want to put Somerton in. Let's put Somerton in, actually, for Rabbits. I was thinking about putting him in at right back, but he's just a left back. Rabbits in his apprehensive mood. Let's get him off the pitch. We need guys who are motivated here. And on their set piece, they play the ball over the top. Hazen Yeating is one of our 3 losses on the year. We opened the season with them on the road and lost a 1-0 game. Hopefully we don't lose another 1-0 performance. Arnold to Wakefield, up to Ashton, who we just subbed on about 7 minutes ago. Plays it out to Blair, back up to Ashton, creating chances. Can he find Arnold? Can Arnold stay on sides? Finds Arnold, plays it over the top. We're going to shift from positive to attacking, as we need to be more aggressive, take more risks, do anything to try and find that equalizing goal. We'll move up to very attacking now. Blair into Ashton, right at the goalie. Plenty of space. It's a good setup. 3 minutes of extra time. This will probably be the last highlight we get shown. Unfortunately, they're on the attack. We really need to dispossess, which doesn't appear we're going to do. They're going to kick it forward to Beauchamp. Let's see if we can get a counter-attack. Nope. And the game is over, and unfortunately, I have had to show you a defeat. As you can see from XG, we have remained pretty level with them the whole way. Absolutely would have liked to outperform them. But that's what you do. Bradley Green, our player of the game, with his 7.3 rating. Blair, 7.2. We are going to regret seeing him go. I will continue to look for transfers who might give us something in the way that he did. We are going to thrash our arms in an aggressive manner and kick up a fuss about not being pleased. Rabbits and Egan just are kind of sad players in terms of their response to anything that resembles motivation. And so that will bring Hazen Yeating within 3 points of us. We still have a ton of space between us and not making the playoff with half the year to play. But we just have to make sure games like this aren't the norm. But since we were playing the second best team, I don't anticipate that it will be a regular thing. Hayes and Eatings are regulars at this level. They aren't just down from the 6th tier, but... So, anyways, I'd like to thank you for your time. I welcome any and all comments, feedback, and suggestions about my presentation. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much. Bye.